Welcome, fellow Chronicle enthusiasts, to another exciting delve into history's hidden narratives. Today, we embark on a journey along ancient trade routes, through the steppes of Central Asia and into the heart of the grand Mongol Empire. Our story is none other than the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire: trade, culture, and connectivity. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes connecting east and west, was the superhighway of the ancient world. A conduit for goods, ideas, and cultures, it was a pivotal factor in the development of many civilizations. On the other hand, the Mongol Empire, under the fierce leadership of Genghis Khan and his successors, was the largest contiguous land empire in history, stretching from Eastern Europe to the Sea of Japan. Together, they brought about an era of unprecedented connectivity and cultural exchange. In this exploration, we'll journey back to the pre-Mongol Silk Road, understanding its origins and significance in the ancient world. We'll then witness the Mongol conquests, an expansive military campaign that encompassed the entire Silk Road. We'll delve into the Pax Mongolica, a period of relative peace and stability that made trade along the Silk Road safe and efficient. We'll immerse ourselves in the cultural exchange that took place along these trade routes, examining the various goods, ideas, technologies, and religions that were shared. We'll walk in the footsteps of the legendary Marco Polo and discuss his accounts of the Mongol Empire that fascinated Europe. We'll also explore the economic impact of trade on the Silk Road, examining the prosperity, urban growth, and spread of crafts and technologies it spurred. Finally, we'll discuss the decline of the Silk Road during the late Mongol Empire, unearthing the factors that led to its demise. So buckle up and prepare to traverse time and space as we illuminate the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire, a saga of trade, culture, and connectivity. Before the rise of the Mongol Empire, the Silk Road had already established itself as a significant conduit for commerce and cultural exchange. The origins of this ancient trade network trace back to around the 2nd century BC, during the Han Dynasty of China. The name Silk Road was coined much later, in the 19th century, by German geographer Ferdinand von Richthofen, but its ancient roots were laden with not just silk, but a plethora of goods, including spices, gems, and luxurious textiles. The Silk Road was not a single path, but a complex system of interconnected trade routes spreading over 4,000 miles and traversing diverse terrains such as deserts, mountains, and grasslands. It stretched from the economic hub of Chang'an, now known as Xi'an in China, through the harsh terrains of Central Asia, all the way to the flourishing markets of Constantinople, present-day Istanbul, and other European cities. The significance of the Silk Road in the ancient world cannot be overstated. It was the primary avenue for the exchange of goods between the East and the West, playing an instrumental role in economic globalization long before the term was even conceived. But more than just trade, the Silk Road facilitated the exchange of ideas, religions, and technologies, effectively bridging the cultural gap between civilizations. For instance, Buddhism found its way from India to China via this route. The intricate art of papermaking, which originated in China, reached the Middle East and subsequently Europe, enhancing the spread of literature and knowledge. The Silk Road served as a melting pot of cultures, leaving an indelible mark on the course of human history. Indeed, the Silk Road was much more than a trade route. It was a lifeline that connected civilizations, a catalyst for cultural exchange, and an artery that pumped new ideas and innovations across continents. Its influence was profound and far-reaching, setting the stage for the epoch of the Mongol Empire. Moving forward on our journey through the annals of history, we find ourselves standing at the brink of a new era, a time of monumental change and expansion with the rise of the Mongol Empire. This era was defined by two influential figures, Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Genghis Khan, born as Temujin, was a shrewd and charismatic leader who rose from humble beginnings to become the founder of the Mongol Empire, one of the largest contiguous empires in history. His expertise in military strategy and his ability to unite numerous nomadic tribes under one banner led to an unprecedented expansion across Asia, Europe, and Africa. Kublai Khan, his grandson, further extended the reach of the Mongol Empire. Notably, he established the Yuan dynasty in China and made significant strides in promoting trade and cultural exchange. The reign of Kublai Khan was characterized by a significant shift towards a more cosmopolitan and sophisticated society, a stark change from the predominantly nomadic lifestyle of the Mongols. The Mongol conquests under these formidable leaders played a crucial role in encompassing the entire Silk Road. Genghis Khan's relentless conquests and Kublai Khan's diplomatic acumen led to the consolidation of various fragmented trade routes into a well-structured, interconnected network spanning across the vast Mongol Empire. This consolidation ensured a seamless flow of goods, ideas, and cultures across regions, marking the beginning of a golden era for the Silk Road. The Mongol Empire's control over such a vast region, stretching from the eastern shores of China to the fringes of Eastern Europe, brought the entirety of the Silk Road under a single political entity. This was a significant factor that contributed to the unprecedented prosperity along the Silk Road during the Mongol reign. Thus, the Mongol conquests not only encompassed the Silk Road, but also transformed it into a vibrant conduit of trade and cultural exchange. As we continue our journey, we will discover the profound impact of this unified Silk Road under the Mongols, an era known as Pax Mongolica. Moving on to an important phase in the Mongol Empire's history, the Pax Mongolica. This Latin term translates to Mongol peace and refers to a significant period of relative peace, law, and order that the Mongols managed to enforce across Eurasia during their rule. This era, stretching from the mid-13th to the mid-14th century, is often compared to the peace established in the Mediterranean world by the Roman Empire, hence the use of the term pax, meaning peace. The Mongols, notorious for their fierce warfare and conquests, might not seem like the likeliest of peace-bringers. However, under their rule, an unprecedented level of stability was achieved across the vast regions they controlled, which included the territories of the entire Silk Road. This peace was largely due to their effective administrative system, tolerance of different religions and cultures, and strict enforcement of law and order. The Pax Mongolica had a profound impact on the Silk Road. The relative safety and security of this era made it possible for trade and travel to flourish like never before. Trade routes were not only secure, but also well-maintained. The Mongols established a network of post houses and way stations along the Silk Road, providing provisions and fresh horses for travelers, even diplomatic couriers. This system, coupled with the stable political environment, made the Silk Road more efficient and reliable. Trade boomed as merchants could transport goods from one end of Eurasia to the other without fear of raids or disruptions. The Mongols' rule, therefore, paved the way for an era of unprecedented connectivity and cultural exchange, the effects of which we will delve deeper into in our next section. Now, let's delve into the heart of the Silk Road, the cultural exchange. The Silk Road was not just a trade route for goods, it was a highway for ideas, technologies, and religions. This vibrant intermingling of cultures was one of the most significant impacts of the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire. Trade in goods was extensive, with China's silk, tea, porcelain, and paper being exchanged for India's spices, precious stones, cotton, and ivory. In return, Central Asia provided horses, furs, and honey, while the West offered gold, silver, glassware, textiles, and olive oil. But it was not just tangible goods that were traded. The Silk Road was also a conduit for the spread of knowledge and ideas. Scientific innovations, philosophical ideologies, and artistic inspirations traversed along this route. The Chinese four great inventions, papermaking, printing, gunpowder, and the compass, found their way to the West. Conversely, the West's advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine were introduced to the East. Religion, too, was a significant part of this exchange. Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and various other belief systems crisscrossed the Silk Road. Buddhism, for instance, originated in India, but spread to China and other parts of East Asia through the Silk Road, profoundly influencing their cultures. This constant exchange and interaction facilitated a unique blending of cultures and civilizations. Chinese silk became a luxury item in Rome, Persian saffron was used in Chinese medicine, and the Indian numeral system, which forms the basis of modern mathematics, reached the Arab world and later Europe. A myriad of languages were spoken in the marketplaces, while art and architecture saw the merging of various stylistic influences. This cultural synthesis fostered an environment of mutual understanding and shared knowledge. It was a melting pot where the East met the West, and something new and beautiful was created, a testament to the power of cultural exchange. This is the true legacy of the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire. Marco Polo, the Venetian merchant traveller, embarked on an epic journey across the Silk Road in the 13th century. Alongside his father and uncle, he ventured into the heart of the Mongol Empire, documenting his experiences and encounters meticulously. His manuscripts, known as the Travels of Marco Polo, offered a glimpse into a world largely unknown to the Western Hemisphere. Polo's accounts captivated the European audience, particularly his descriptions of the Mongol Empire. He portrayed an empire of immense power and wealth, ruled by the great Khan, Kublai Khan. The grandeur of the Khan's court, the organization of the Mongol military, and the overall law and order maintained throughout the empire fascinated his contemporaries. Polo also detailed the cultural and religious diversity he witnessed, with Buddhists, Muslims, and Christians living side by side. He described cities of incredible size, bustling markets, and the abundance of goods traded along the Silk Road. These vivid descriptions challenged the conventional European understanding of the world, sparking intrigue, curiosity, and an insatiable hunger for exploration. Marco Polo's journey and his subsequent accounts paved the way for the age of exploration in Europe, inspiring explorers to set out and discover new lands, routes, and gain a deeper understanding of the world. In essence, Marco Polo's journey along the Silk Road and his accounts not only provided an invaluable record of the Mongol Empire, but also served as a catalyst for change, fueling the European imagination and transforming their worldview. Under the Mongol Empire, the Silk Road experienced unprecedented prosperity. The Mongols' effective governance and security measures ensured flourishing trade along this ancient route, connecting the East and West like never before. The sheer volume of trade was staggering, with precious goods such as silk, spices, gold, and silver traveling across the empire. This trade boom had far-reaching economic impacts on cities and regions along the Silk Road. Samarkand, for example, became a bustling hub of commerce under Mongol rule. Its markets were filled with merchants from across the empire, selling a variety of goods. This influx of trade and wealth led to urban development, with magnificent palaces, grand mosques, and sprawling bazaars reflecting the city's newfound prosperity. The Silk Road also played a pivotal role in the dissemination of crafts and technologies. Chinese papermaking, for instance, spread to the west via the Silk Road, revolutionizing communication and record-keeping. Similarly, the technique of making Persian rugs, known for their intricate designs and high quality, found its way to the east. These exchanges of crafts and technologies resulted in unique blends of art, culture, and innovation. It was a time of synthesis and evolution, where the world grew smaller and the horizons of knowledge and understanding expanded. In essence, the prosperity of the Mongol-era Silk Road was not just about wealth accumulation. It catalyzed urban growth, cultural exchange, and technological advancement, leaving an indelible mark on human history. As the Mongol Empire began to wane in the late 14th century, the Silk Road that had flourished under their rule also declined. The fragmentation of the Mongol Empire was a significant factor in this decline. Internal conflicts and power struggles led to its division into smaller khanates, disrupting the trade routes of the Silk Road and making them more dangerous and less efficient. Another factor was the emergence of new maritime trade routes. Advancements in shipbuilding and navigation made sea routes increasingly viable alternatives for trade. These routes, particularly in the Indian Ocean and around the Cape of Good Hope, were often quicker, safer, and cheaper than the overland Silk Road, causing many traders to abandon it. The Black Death, one of the most devastating pandemics in history, also played a role in the decline of the Silk Road. Originating in Asia and spreading through trade routes, including the Silk Road, it caused widespread death and decimated populations across Asia and Europe, resulting in a significant drop in trade. Additionally, the rise of powerful states with protectionist policies, like the Ottoman Empire, impacted Silk Road trade. These empires sought to control and limit trade for their own benefit, imposing heavy taxes and restrictions on merchants. In conclusion, the decline of the Silk Road during the late Mongol Empire was a result of political fragmentation, the rise of maritime trade, the impact of the Black Death, and the emergence of powerful protectionist states. These factors gradually diminished the vibrancy and activity of the Silk Road, leading to its eventual decline. In conclusion, we have journeyed through the fascinating narrative of the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire, a period marked by unparalleled trade, cultural exchange, and connectivity. We commenced our exploration with an overview of the Silk Road's early history, tracing its roots, and highlighted its significance in the ancient world. The story then moved to the formidable Mongol conquests, led by Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Their empire's expansion brought the entire Silk Road under Mongol rule, setting the stage for the era of Pax Mongolica. A critical point in our discussion was the Pax Mongolica, a period of relative peace and stability which allowed trade to flourish safely and efficiently. We also delved into the rich cultural exchanges that occurred during this epoch. Trade was not just about goods, but also about ideas, technologies, and religions. This dynamic interchange led to a unique blending of cultures and civilizations which significantly shaped our world. One of the most vivid accounts of this era came from the Venetian merchant Marco Polo, whose tales of the Mongol Empire and the Silk Road captivated Europe. The economic impact of the Silk Road was profound and far-reaching, leading to prosperity, urban growth, and the spread of crafts and technologies. However, nothing lasts forever. We concluded our narrative with the decline of the Silk Road during the late Mongol Empire, a result of various factors that led to its eventual fall into obscurity. In the grand tapestry of history, the Silk Road under the Mongol Empire was a period of extraordinary connectivity and cultural fusion. It serves as a powerful reminder of how trade and communication can bridge cultures and civilizations, fostering mutual understanding and progress. The echoes of this ancient network can still be heard today, informing our present and shaping our future. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Subscribe and stay tuned for more fascinating chronicles from the annals of our rich and diverse past.